Hello and welcome to the latest episode of my Knitting and Creative podcast. My name on Instagram is Orchid's Heart and I am recording a short festive video, hopefully for you guys today. I think it's like a week until Christmas, so I'm cutting it really fine. But I just have a few festive projects I wanted to share before the big day passes, and I thought I would just do like a short video, even though my last episode was only like a week ago. So yes. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying the lead up to the festive period. I hope this setup is okay. I feel like my camera and ring light are very close to my face, so sorry if I'm a bit like this. I'm not used to it. I normally have the camera quite far away, and I do wonder if maybe it being closer is probably better for you guys. It just feels quite intrusive. But anyway, hopefully I'll get used to it. It doesn't help that I don't have it so that I can see what's being filmed, because the camera lens on the back of the phone is better than the selfie camera, and so I'm basically talking to just a black phone. You might hear some strange noises in the background. My partner is tiling the bathroom whilst the baby's in his bouncy seat watching, and my partner's approach to talking to the baby is to mimic his noises back in. So all I can hear is meh, meh, meh. But anyway, the boys are enjoying the tiling. So yes, I haven't done loads of festive making this year because life with a newborn whilst renovating the main bathroom, not that I'm really involved in that, I'm involved looking after the newborn, he's doing the new bathroom, means that things are a bit topsy-turvy, and we're frantically trying to get it done, well he's frantically trying to get it done before family descends on us at the weekend. I'm in my sewing room at the moment and I can currently see the toilet and the sink are just on the floor in front of me. It's another reason why you're like this. So yeah, I feel like it's been a year of having bathroom pieces in rooms you don't want them in. I mean, funny fact that you may or may not want to know, for half the pregnancy, when I started sleeping in the baby's room, because our house is on 3 floors, because we're not that it's a big house, but we sleep in the attic. We had an attic conversion. So because there was too many stairs, well there was a flight of stairs to the bathroom, you know, whilst pregnant I decided I'd start sleeping in the baby's room, which was next to the bathroom. But for the little bathroom he was redoing at the time, because both bathrooms were a mess, I had to share a room with a toilet set for most of the pregnancy, which was weird and not particularly pleasant. I mean, obviously it was clean, but you know, it's not great waking up and just seeing parts of a bathroom every morning. But anyway, I digress. Let's stop talking about bathroom renovations. You want to know about Christmassy festive things. When I say Christmas, Christmas for me isn't religious. For me it's about family, making food, time together, enjoying the warm cosy vibes and having an excuse for people to make more effort to come together, because I know sometimes we all feel too busy, there's too much going on. This time of year everyone gets ill all the time. You can probably tell that I've had a bit of a cold, baby's had a bit of a cold, partner's had a bit of a cold, in fact we've all still got it a bit, and so it gets hard because you just want to cozy up and stay at home, but actually it's really nice to have that kind of forced momentum to all come together and really make that effort. You know, I see parts of my family that I don't see that often, and people come together in a way that they don't normally, which I think is really, really nice. So I'm enjoying that. For the first time we are hosting, sort of. I mean, we're having some family come stay, but I'm not doing the cooking. The grandmas are coming and doing it together, so not my grandma obviously, my son's grandmas, my mum and my mother-in-law, and we're really lucky we all get on really well, so it's going to be really nice and really cosy. The house is going to be manic, all the places you could possibly sleep are going to be occupied, and then I've got my brother and his partner coming up on Boxing Day, and our tiny little table is just going to be completely full of people, which I'm really excited for, even more so that I don't have to provide all the food. I will be helping in between baby stints, but it's nice that they can come and help and take the pressure off, because I do think that's something that can happen, especially to women at this time of year, that they end up doing all of it and feeling the pressure. It's more stressful than enjoyable, and I've been really keen to, like, you know, because people are staying for a little while, to plan out meals that are easy and that we can all take turns and that nobody's doing anything that's particularly draining or hard work, because we want to enjoy the time together rather than spend it in the kitchen. So yes, sorry, still a little bit under the weather. So I'm going to share with you my advent so far from the Raw Wool Company. If you saw last time, I did earlier in the year treat myself to an advent from the Raw Wool Company. So I'm going to share what I've had from that so far. It's not loads because it's not mini skeins. It's I'll share that in a minute anyway. A festive sewing project I'm going to do later, and a little bit of knitting, but not very much, which isn't particularly festive, but I'm going to share it anyway. And yeah, so let's crack on. So I mentioned in my last episode last week that I did earlier in the year, whilst I was still being paid and wasn't on maternity leave, so it was good timing for me. I treated myself to an advent from the Raw Wool Company. If you don't know, the Raw Wool Company is a company in Cornwall, I believe, which is in the south of England, run by a shepherd called Anton. And I think their tagline is wool in the colours the sheep intended. And up until buying this advent, I'd never bought from them before. However, I could just tell it was going to be completely up my street. So I think advents are lovely and I really enjoy opening them, but I do struggle using that many mini skeins. And I feel like there are so many blankets and only so many shawls you can have. And I've, over the years, my first ever one was a Woolly Mammoth Fibre coat advent, which I bought during lockdown. I had a flight refunded. I was meant to go on holiday. Obviously no one was going on holiday that year. So I treated myself to my first advent that year. The following year, I don't think I did one. Or maybe I did. I don't know, there was a year where I did buy one from Sakami Yarns, but it never arrived. It wasn't their fault. It was the postal service. It never arrived. It ended up going back to them, and so it was refunded. It would have arrived halfway through December, so Sakami were really kind and they refunded me. And then last year, I definitely had a year off. Or maybe not, because last year I'd be 23. Maybe I didn't. And then last year I did treat myself, using the money I've made here on YouTube, to the Knotty Pine Fibre Co advent. And so that would have been 3, but I only ended up receiving 2 mini skein advents. And if I'm honest, I've really struggled to use the Woolly Mammoth Fibre Co one because it's naturally dyed yarn. I'm always very aware when knitting projects with multiple naturally dyed yarns, how they're going to play together, inevitably fade a bit over time, and how that's going to end up looking. So, sorry, I am going to be a bit sniffy because I'm still a bit under the weather, but I'll try not to. But my Knotty Pine Fibre Co advent, I kind of already knew that I wanted to knit a shawl of beautiful browns before I even bought the advent, because the yarns are always beautiful browns and I knew that would be lovely and really wearable for me. So I am currently knitting a Find Your Fade shawl by Andrew Murray with that. But I knew that maybe mini skeins on the whole are not for me. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of pressure, and I don't think I want to knit a scrappy blanket anytime soon, maybe in the future. I mentioned last time that I'm probably going to be going on like a 3-year journey of very limited funds because we're going to be doing up a house. And so this is my last probably advent splurge for a long time, unless of course, you know, YouTube revenue continues to improve. I don't know. But so for me, this is a better idea. You get proper skeins of yarn rather than mini skeins because they don't dye their yarn. They aren't able to do 24 mini skeins. Although, you know, 24 mini skeins of naturally dyed yarns for a shawl could be very beautiful, but I think that'd be quite stressful for the producers, especially because their thing is all very local yarn. So I think that would be quite difficult to sustainably achieve. But anyway, so you don't get a thing every day to open. There's like a selection of parcels and they are designated different weeks and you can decide when to open them. So I've got one left for this week to open, which I'm going to open in a minute. But I just thought I'd share with you the yarn I've received so far. So I think I shared 2 of them last time. I think it was these 2. And so I opened, or it might have been these 2, I can't remember. It was one of the dark ones and one of the light ones. I think it was Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, so these probably look quite similar. I'm sorry, it might be getting a bit dark out. I think it's starting to rain. But hopefully the ring light's helping with that. So hopefully you can see, and if not, I'll insert a photo. One of them slightly darker than the other, but they are both British Wensleydale long wool. They're both 350 metres per 100 grams. So they probably are the same sheep. All the information on the back is the same. Single origin raw wool from Cornwall, but one says batch 1, one says batch 2, and this one is darker than this one. And like this is a rich chocolate and this is more of a brown grey, and I think they would make a lovely colour work. But I know there's another 3 skeins of yarn in the advent because you can tell from the feel of the parcels, so who knows. I'm not going to make any decisions until I see the rest of the yarn. These have a lot more drape than this one does, so I would probably want them in different projects, but let's see what I end up with. I have a feeling that this would make a lovely hat, but I'm not sure if I'm a white hat person. I do henna my hair, and although I've never had any colour transfer on my pillow slips or anything like that, I always do worry about very pale colours touching my hair because of that. So yes. So I'll just share with you some other treats I've had in the calendar so far, because it's not just wool. This week I also had these really gorgeous smelling candles. They are Orange and Cinnamon by Saint Aval, which I'm guessing is somewhere in Cornwall. Yes, it is, because they said all the gifts inside would be locally sourced. But they're quite little, so I don't really know what I'm going to do with them. I feel like if you had one of those wreaths that go on the table, they'd be perfect for that. But I don't, and I don't have any candle holders that small. So I don't know, I'd love to use them on the Christmas table. That might be something I troubleshoot with my mum when she comes. Yeah, because I'm looking around my room to see what I would have that I could jam them into, because they smell gorgeous. And you can just have nice candles lying around all year and you don't end up using them. I definitely want to make sure I use these and enjoy them. I've also had so far, this pouch was a Christmas present. It's nothing to do with the advent. A friend bought it back. She lives in Thailand, and I've decided to use it for little notions. And so also this week I had, by Lantern Moon, 3 of these needles with soft ends, which I've never had before, so I'm intrigued. And then I shared this before, it's like a repair hook. I mean, it's basically a mini crochet hook, which is not something I would normally buy for myself because I was a crocheter before knitting, and so I have a full set of crochet hooks. But it's nice to have a little one just in the pouch. Because they're wooden, I'm a little bit worried about them snapping, so I've put them in this quite substantial pouch. But I'm not sure I'm confident about them being in there. I think I'd prefer them to be in a little tin where they can't get smooshed, because they do feel quite delicate to me, but they're beautiful. And I have one more parcel to open, so I'm going to open that with you now, and I'm wondering if I ought to put the big lights on, so let me do that first. Actually, I've just had a look at the camera, it does look quite bright, so we're probably okay. I just hope I'm not too overexposed, which I might be. I'm still getting used to the ring light. Anyway, I'm opening this. Sorry if there's any scrunch. Oh. I was hoping there'd be some posh chocolate. That's exactly what this is. I did want to actually because of the weight of it. So it is a medium chocolate. It's 60%. So I'm somebody who can enjoy and be very happy with 80 or 90% dark chocolate. I really like bitter. But I would imagine 60 is probably more widely palatable. I'm sure it's gorgeous. I'm excited to try this. We are a Cornwall-based specialty chocolate company empowering cacao, that's how you say it, cacao growers in Ecuador, and helping lift vulnerable rural communities out of poverty through our direct trade model. Tasty notes of peach, caramel and rose. I'm really excited to try that. We'll definitely have to try some later, but maybe I'll save the rest for my cold wears off, because I know colds can limit your ability to taste things. It's a small bar, it's only 60 grams. I'm going to have to keep this hidden from my partner because that sounds mean, but he doesn't give a damn about good chocolate. He'll happily eat Cadbury's, which I don't like. So I'll secret that away for me. I'll do my knitting project update and then I will talk about my Christmas stockings. So I'm not sure how far I was on this project last time. Had I finished the first one? I have been knitting my baby some little socks. So I don't know if this one was finished last time or not. It's got a contrast green toe. And then I am over halfway through the second one. I realised I was definitely going to run out of yarn. I've only got this much left, so I'm obviously about to run out. So this one's going to have a more of a contrast foot. I should have done green heels on both of them, and green toes, and then maybe they would have matched. I'm a little bit mad that they're not, but you know, they're baby socks. It's not really the end of the world. Yeah, so hopefully that will work out. They do fit him with a little bit of space to spare. I'm hoping that the rib means that even though they are a bit on the big side, that they will stay on. I'm kind of hoping that if I roll them over, that will create like a firmer leg situation and then we'll stay on. The thing is, he's definitely, since I started knitting these, learnt the fun game of let's pull off the socks. So we shall see. I'm just worried that when we go out and about that his feet are getting a bit cold because shop bought socks are kind of pathetic. And booties are a complete waste of time. So I mean, maybe this is kind of like a bootie, really, I don't know. But I'm going to put them over shop socks as like an extra outer sock. But it will be this one that will take the brunt of his sucking on his feet because they'll be on the outside layer. So one pair probably isn't enough. Maybe I'll start a second pair afterwards. But I'm knitting these out of my leftovers. It is getting really dark. I'm going to turn the light on. Sorry, slightly chaos episode. I'm knitting these on my leftovers of my Buches Le Sock Yarn in the Autumn Crush colour, or Festive Autumn, or whatever it was called, and a little bit of Exmoor Sock in the colour, I have no idea, I don't know what the dark green was called. I know most of the colours, the ones I use often. I don't think the dark green is one that I use that often, so I don't know it. No, haven't got a clue. So I'm hoping to finish that tonight. Because I've got half a baby foot and a toe to go, so that's really not that much. I'm not sure that I'd say I'm enjoying knitting them. I don't like knitting on DPNs, and so I'm finding it a little bit tedious. It does help that it's a quick project, so there we go. And then my next project I'd barely cast on last time. and that is my Beetle Magic project. Now, when I shared this with you last time, I didn't realise that the colours of the yarn I picked are basically the colours of the cover of the pattern. So I was obviously inspired by that without realising. But last night I finished the colour work section and I love it. I mean, I love it for him. This is not for me. I do love it, but I think I'd feel really self-conscious wearing something like this because I'm very much an earthy girl. So let me show you. I think it looks really, really lovely. I hope you can see it. So I'm using 2 yarns. One is a mini skein that I bought from Emma's Yarn in a yarn shop in Hadleigh, which I put the name of in my last video. It's called Yarn Worx and it's in Suffolk, I think. I don't think Hadleigh's in Essex. I don't know, sorry, I'm not from that part of the country, but my partner's family are, so we do spend quite a lot of time there. And I think this pattern really overestimates how much yarn you need, because this is how much I have left from the mini skein, which, actually my scales are here, I can tell you. I have over half left, I've got 11 grams. So I'm knitting the third size C, which is a 24-inch chest. I have no idea what size that is in age terms. I just knit what the yarn requirements said I could knit the largest size with the yarn I've got. But I mean, I haven't used 20 grams, I've used 9 to do the colour work, which is a little bit annoying because I wanted to use all the yarn. So we shall see. And I've got 4 skeins of this Patons mystery yarn. Well, it's not mystery, but it's like an old thrifted yarn I bought second hand, and they're both wool nylon blends. So it's probably not something I'd want to wear, but I think it'd be quite good for the boy when he's older. So I'm enjoying that. I think I've just got some short rows to go, and then drop the yarn. Then it's plain sailing. I did mention on Instagram the other day that I completely forgot with this pattern, when you go to split for sleeves, it says put it on over your head, try it on and pinch 1 inch comfortably below under your arms and then split for sleeves. And I was like, yeah, my baby has not got a 24-inch chest yet. So a load of you suggested I go measure some ready to wear patterns or look at another knitting pattern that has a 24-inch chest and see what they recommend, which I'm going to do, but I'll probably also put a lifeline in before I split for sleeves, in case when he gets to that age it really doesn't fit him proportionally, so that I can go back and reknit it, which I'd rather not do, obviously, but I know he's going to be long, judging by genetics and the fact that he is quite big for his age already. So, and a few people have said to me that babies tend to more grow longwards than outwards, and so it might fit him for quite a long time if I knit it long. So there we go. So that's both the knitting things I've been doing at the moment. Now that I've knit the colour work on that jumper, I think once I get to the point where I'm splitting for sleeves and it's just round and round and round and round, it's probably going to be my travel project, and I will go back to knitting on my shawl, or dare I say it, pick up my colour work cardigan, which I've kind of resigned myself into thinking I do need to reknit the sleeves for, because they don't look very neat, and I am a neat knitter and I think I've let myself down. So I think that will be a New Year project, to rip out both the sleeves and do them again, which brings me sadness. I don't know whether to do that before I knit the body or knit the body and then go back and do the sleeves. We shall see. Right. I don't think I've got too much longer before I'm going to have to go feed the baby. So, okay, yeah, my finished sewing object is this stocking. So I do have some footage of me making them, so I'll probably insert the process of me doing it a bit here. Yeah, so last year I made, or the year before, I have a feeling it couldn't have been last year, but I did see that I'd posted some photos, I think, of them last year, so maybe I did. But I'm sure I couldn't have done, because this time last year that's when I felt my worst. So, with the pregnancy. So I don't think I could have done it. It must have been the year before, because I don't think I was really doing any making this time last year. Or if I did, that was a mammoth achievement, because I really wasn't very well. I think it must have been the year before. But anyway, I made 2 stockings in this kind of style. You'll definitely see them in some festive footage at some point in this video. And so this year I knew I wanted to make another one for my little boy. I did think about embroidering our initials on the squares in the middle, but I decided in the end to order some custom laser print tags from Etsy. So you can see my little boy's name. And I chose to have a little bear put on his. And because there were different options for things you could have on. I mean, they were like 80p each. And so this means that we can tell whose stocking is whose without me having to spend ages embroidering initials. So they're all slightly different, different combinations of red and green. And they're just all made from scraps. I was asked how I made them in my last video and whether there was a pattern. I'm really sorry there isn't a pattern, but it was really easy. I followed a tutorial for making I think it's called a star tooth quilt block, which is this. And I made a couple of those using the scrap linens in different configurations because I wanted them to be all slightly different. So last year I did 2. I actually made more than 2 quilt blocks because I used one to make a hot water bottle cover for my mother for Christmas. And then I drew out a stocking shape. I used that as a template for the back piece. And then I cut 2 out, but with a couple of inches longer for the liner, so that I could fold the top over the outside and stitch it down. And then for the front piece, I had my square quilt block. I stitched a piece of plain either side, levelled it off, put a strip across the top, levelled it off, and then laid that against the back piece or the template and worked out how much of the foot I had missing, plus the seam allowance, and then attached that so that I had another piece the same shape as the back piece, and then I just assembled it. I have used fuzz to give them a more substantial feel, and I used the fuzz that came in some of our like veg boxes, or we did very briefly try HelloFresh a couple of years ago, and so I have all of the recycled nylon fuzz that they put in there, and I wasn't going to throw it away. I don't like using the nylon fuzz on things like hot water bottle covers or project bags, to be honest, because it is quite fluffy, quite thick, and on a hot water bottle cover I don't want to put plastic on it. I'd rather it was wool because it will retain more heat, etc. So I've kind of saved it more for like the home decor projects or things that I'm not going to feel up that often. And it was really thick, but I managed to rip it in half so it was half the thickness, and cut 2 shapes out and put them on the back of the outer pieces and treated each like fuzz and outer piece as one piece. So stitched those together around the outside, not the top. The same with the liner, clipped the corners, put the liner inside the outer piece, folded the top over, pinned some ribbon on, and just stitched it on. So really, really easy, no pattern. You can make it whatever size you want. I would probably recommend making like your pouch piece the size you want it, and then maybe working out from there what size stocking you want to complement it. That's probably how I would do it. But yeah, I'm super pleased. They are really wonky. None of them are very neat, but I don't care. I mean, that was an accident. If you look at the back here, like that isn't straight. I did make this one in a little bit of a hurry because I had to do it during nap times, and we don't get many of those, and I really wanted it for this year because I wanted it for his first Christmas. I know he doesn't give a damn because he's 4 months old, but for me I wanted to start some family traditions this year, and that was one of them. So yes, I'm really happy with that. This is turning out to be a lot more chatty than I was expecting. I told my partner I was only going to be 10 minutes, and I'm sure it's been, what, 20 minutes, half an hour at this point? And so the last thing I'm going to do, which I'm going to do now if baby's happy, is I bought this gorgeous red and gold fabric. and I am just going to hem the edges and use it as a tablecloth. I made some fabric napkins out of purple gold fabric for Christmas with reindeer on, so it's going to clash like mad, but I don't care. Yeah, because we don't host for Christmas, we don't have anything like this, and we have like mismatched china and everything's like a bit higgledy-piggledy in this house because we used to share it with lodgers, and I've got to be honest, there's some things we've never really sorted out since they left, like having proper china, etc. I do have a set of brown Hornsey crockery, which I bought at a car boot, but we just don't use it every day because I'm really clumsy. And so my mum was like, you are going to, like, if you're not going to have matching plates, then I'll bring mine. You will have proper da, da, da. I was like, yes mum, we do have these things, we just don't actually get them out that often. She was really stressed that there'd be no festive tablecloth or proper napkins or proper crockery. And so slightly out of protest, it is going to be massively clashy. And it will happen, but it's going to be a bit wild, I think. So brown crockery, I think I've got orange glass candlesticks, orange candles, red tablecloth, purple napkins. And it's more because I've had a really relaxed attitude to sorting these things out, and it just is what it is. So we shall see. Maybe I will rethink the colour scheme next year. Maybe I won't. Maybe that's just how our Christmas table will look. We shall see. So yes, I'm hopefully going to sew that now or later, and I will chat to you guys soon. I think that's probably everything that I'm going to say with my chattiness. Maybe I've dispersed some festive clips throughout. Maybe you'll get them now, maybe you got them at the start, I don't know. But yeah, I won't speak to you guys now until the new year. So merry festive period, however you celebrate it. If you don't, then I hope you just enjoy the quiet time in this phase of winter, and I will talk to you in the new year. So merry Christmas and a happy new year. Bye.